This conference will now be
and it says
recorded.
audio, then you want to do your computer audio, and then you want to pick out which speakers you're using, okay? Because it seems like most people can hear me. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome. I don't think this is going to take super duper long. This is the first time that I have, yes, I'm recording. This is the first time that I have done a webinar all by myself. So wish me luck on this. Um, but I think it'll actually go quicker since I don't have a co-presenter. So you can use the little chat function to ask me questions. If it's a question that I already plan on answering later in the seminar, then I may not answer it at the moment that you ask. We'll also have time at the end to ask questions for anything I didn't cover. All right, so we are going to move right along. If I can get my PowerPoint. Okay, well, it doesn't want to let me, here we go. There we go. All right, so loud microphone level. I can move it away from my, voice, mouth. Okay, so I made myself a note to record, and I am recording. And I made myself a note to ask you all to mute your microphones, which I hope you're doing. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is the required student survey. The optional teacher survey, we're going to go over important dates, important links, registration, student responsibilities and opportunities for educators, what to expect at National History Day, and we'll talk about the workshop and feedback. If you haven't already, follow us on social media and feel free to tag us. All right, so let's first of all talk about the required student survey. Students, you need to do this whether you are going to go to NHD or not. And on the page, the national contest page that's on our website, which is tennesseehistory.org, it's the second button down in the first column. This is not the same as registration. This is you telling me, yes, I'm going to go, or no, I'm not going to go. And this is how I will keep track of you during the contest itself. I'm going to be building an email distribution list using the information from this survey. So if there's somebody that needs to be included, like for example, your chaperone, this is where you're going to share that information with me. Okay, this is what it looks like. It's going to take you less than 20 minutes to fill it out. It's, as I said, just for me. If you won a special award, I'm holding that check hostage until you fill this out. So that should motivate you to get on it and fill this out for me. Educators, this is an optional survey if you are planning on physically attending National History Day with us. If you're going to be part of the Tennessee delegation, I would like for you to complete this survey so that I know who you are and that you plan on being there and how to get in touch with you. If you're passing off duties to another teacher who's not in our registration system or maybe hasn't been involved up until now, please have that person fill this survey out as well. If you're not coming, you don't need to do that. Okay, so the deadline for this is Wednesday, April 24th, 2019, in the morning or by noon if you're in the Eastern time zone. This is how you let me know if you're coming or not. If you're not coming, I need to know so that I can extend that invitation to the alternate. If an entire group is not coming or if an individual is not coming, this gives the alternate enough time to revise his or her project and get themselves registered, okay? So that's the deadline for that. That is next week, next Wednesday. All right, so here's some important dates. We're doing the webinar right now. Next Wednesday is when I want you to have completed your survey. Saturday, April 27th, University of Tennessee Hodges Library is hosting a workshop for Tennessee History Day finalists. And that'll be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm going to give you more information on that. And it's open to students from all across the state. Last year we had some students travel quite a distance to get there. So definitely, if that's something that you're able to do and attend, you should check that out, because the library staff will be there, and Lisa, our East Tennessee Regional Coordinator, will be there to give you feedback on your projects at the point that you have them right then and there. Tuesday, May 14th, 2019, at 11:59 Central Time, at 11 Eastern Time, at 10:59 Central Time is the NHD registration deadline. So paper students and website students, you all must have your projects uploaded within the system. Everybody must have paid. Paper students, you need to have mailed your papers so that they are received in the NHD office by this date. So you can do it on Monday, overnight it, or you can mail them if you get done the week before via regular United States mail. Wednesday, May 15th at 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, NHD Explore registration opens. And I'm going to be going into more detail with that, about what that is. But that's something that you're going to want to keep an eye on. National History Day is not just a day, it's the better part of a week. It starts on Sunday, June 9th, 2019, and it goes through Thursday, June 13th. Now, you do not have to attend all of that. You can attend just the part where you are competing. But if you want the full NHD experience, it's there for you all of those days. And we'll talk more about when you need to be there and what you need to be doing once you get there. All right, so the important links. This is our website, TennesseeHistory.org, and this is the information and deadlines all compiled in one place for you. So this is where you're going to go if you have questions, or if you need the link for registration, or if you need to read the registration instructions. I think I customized them for us. I don't actually remember if I did or not, but I think our registration instructions might be easier to follow than the NHD ones. Yes, we have deadlines, we have the registration link instructions, we have the links to the 2 surveys, we have the link to the webinar, which I will put up there once I get it downloaded and in a format that it can be viewed. We have the frequently asked questions. We have a brief 2-page schedule with an overview with activities that are specific to us. We have a very long minute-by-minute guide that I believe is 13 pages long. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to look through all of this material before you call me and ask me something, because it's probably been covered in the 7 pages plus 2 pages plus 13 pages. It's probably already been covered, okay? So I want you to look through that before you resort to calling me. There is a link to purchase more t-shirts and buttons. There's a link to NHD Explore. Now, these last 4 links, the junior division schedule, the senior division schedule, the press release, and the photos are not live yet. And the reason that they are not live yet is because we do not know what the junior division schedule is or the senior division schedule. We will not find that out until at the earliest the day before the contest, which is Saturday, June 9th, okay? So that is a question that I like to say is a forbidden question. Do not call me and ask me, when is my interview time? I don't know. I find out at the same time you do. When I find out, I'll compile it into a spreadsheet and I'll send it out to everybody. But the earliest place that it will be posted is the NHD app, which I recommend you download. All right, here is the NHD page, nhd.org. This is where you're going to go to find out information about on-campus housing, or to find a campus map, or to find out about where you're going to mail something if you decide you want to ship your exhibit, or if you want to ship your props. This is where you would go to find out more information about that. This is the page devoted to registration, so I would very carefully read through this before you start registration. It tells you what you need. There are additional requirements. The students have to complete a medical form, which we did not require at the state contest. That's something that the University of Maryland, which is the host for all of this, does require. Okay, so go ahead if you're an educator and register again, whether you are attending or not. Once you're in the registration system, you're going to be able to monitor your students' progress and see if they've paid, if they've uploaded whatever they need to upload, if they've done their medical form. Use the same username and password. You don't have to complete registration. You don't have to pay if you're not going in person. Now, you can go and not pay the fee. It's a $60 fee, and what that gets is you get a goodie bag when you get there. So it's a nice tote bag, and it has the theme book in it, and then it has other curriculum material from the National Endowment for the Humanities or from the Library of Congress. Pencils, pens, stickers, stuff like that. You can also take advantage of the professional development workshops. However, there's another fee on top of that. If you plan on staying in the dorms, you do need to pay this $60 fee just to get yourself into the system, okay? But, you know, National History Day is open to the public. If you don't feel the need for a goodie bag, you don't have to pay that $60 if you're a teacher. And certainly if you are not attending in person, do not pay this fee, okay? Just don't do it. Okay, students, register again using the same username and password. I mean, you're going to get to a screen that says we're taking you through this information you've already provided. So you're going to hit save at the bottom of each screen. It retains the information that you've already put in there. Each individual student needs to do this, even if you're part of a group project. So if you have 5 people on your junior individual website, all 5 people need to do this. Even if you are not physically attending NHD, if there's 5 of you on your junior group website and 4 of you are coming and 1 of you is going to governor's school, you still have to pay the $150 registration fee. Now, if you don't want to pay that, I can delete you from the system. But then that means that if you win a medal or if you win a prize, you're not going to get to share in that glory. Okay, within the registration system, if you click on the Store tab at the top of the page, you select the registration fee. You can nominate yourself for special awards, you complete your permissions and waivers, you complete the medical form, and you can request an early or late registration time. Now, in the feedback that Graham and I are going to be giving you, we will be suggesting certain awards that we think you should nominate yourself for. Not all topics lend themselves to an award. There's about 35 different awards, and so if we think that there's a connection between your project and a particular award category, we will tell you nominate yourself for this. So here's what it's going to look like. This is your profile. Excuse me. Do fill out what you have not filled out yet, okay? And then if you look over here on the right and you see the red circles, judging time preference, right now it says any. You can pick morning or you can pick afternoon. And then for website competitors, it already has your Weebly URL in there. This is also paper competitors where you're going to upload your paper. When it comes to the judging time preference, most of the competition, so the juniors go on Monday, you're probably going to be done around 2 o'clock. So if you ask for an afternoon time, the latest they may have to give you is 2 o'clock. So don't think you can fly in that morning and make it to campus and be there in time for your judging session, okay? A lot of people do want to get an early judging time so that you can spend the rest of the day visiting museums and stuff. I'm going to tell you the way that I do this is one year we had 12 junior individual websites and 8 of the people asked for a 10 a.m. judging time. And the way I decided who got the earliest time was I went by the order of registration. So the first person who had completed registration got the 10 o'clock session. The second person who completed registration got the 10:10 session. So if you really, really, really want an early judging session, I recommend you start registration today. All right, so you have completed registration when the teacher has registered, the student is registered, you've paid all your fees. For group entries, all of the students have registered and paid. Papers have been mailed and uploaded. Website students, you've checked the URL, made sure it's correct. You've nominated yourself for special awards. You've applied for scholarships. And then I left this off, but you've completed the medical form. And to be clear, somebody's asked, papers must be mailed and received through mail by May 14th. Yes, that is correct. They want the hard copies of the papers in the office by May 14th, the deadline. So you can send them overnight on May 13th. They want 4 copies of the paper. And they do make a note in there that you can copy your papers back to front. It doesn't have to just be on one side of the paper. But they start with those hard copies, immediately dispersing them to the judges. Okay, so here we have registration. This is what the registration instructions look like on the National History Day webpage, and this is what the button looks like on our webpage. Okay, do not create a duplicate account. We had a problem with people who swore up and down they were using the same username and they were using the same password and they couldn't get into the system, so they just made up new ones. And then I had 2 people. I had 2 Annas in the system, and I had to get rid of one of those Annas. And maybe Anna uploaded her paper on one of the accounts and did her permissions on one of the other accounts. So don't create a duplicate account. That's going to create an enormous amount of headache for the people behind the scenes. If your username and password does not work, contact me and I'm going to try to reset it for you. Okay? I don't know if I can do it at my level. I was able to do that for the state contest. I don't know if I reset it, if that'll work on the national contest. But if you're having trouble logging in, let me know and I will, if I can't help you, I will find somebody to help you. It's better you contact me than create a duplicate account. Now, I'm going to be out of town May 10th through May 14th. So my goal is to get everybody registered before I leave. I want to see all green checks when I go into my account to look at you all. So you will be getting emails from me that say, I notice you've uploaded your paper and you've done your medical form, but you haven't paid yet. This is a reminder that you need to pay. Now, it's actually okay with me if you wait until May 14th to pay, but I definitely want to see that you've completed your waivers, you've completed your medical form, and you've edited all of your information to be complete. All right, so students, while we are at National History Day, or even before we go to National History Day, your responsibilities are to complete the student survey, to complete the registration before the deadline, and to stay informed. You will be getting emails from me. Sometimes those emails have attachments. I encourage you to actually open the attachments and look at them. It might have important information. Download the NHD app. This is going to be the most reliable and quickest way to find out when your interview time is. Because they do go live with that usually the day before the contest starts. Be in place in College Park, Maryland, or in the vicinity, and that's like about a 50-mile radius the day before your interview session. Commit to staying through your finals judging. And documentary and performance students, you must be physically present for the finals round. Exhibit students, you must leave your exhibit up until the finals judges have taken a look at it. You also need to commit to revising your project. I can tell you now that the students who don't revise their project do not do very well. When I look at the rankings for the preliminary rounds, students who've worked really hard and taken our advice or sought other people's advice and fixed all of their typos, and maybe they had an 8-minute and 30-second documentary and they've pushed it so now it's 10 minutes. those students tend to do well. Students who blow it off or don't, or procrastinate or don't start on it until the day before, do not do well. And it's not worth it. You want to go, you want to represent Tennessee. We want to send our best. It's an investment on the part of your teachers and your parents and your family and us to send you there. And so you want to go and you want to feel like you've done what you can to be as prepared as possible. Now, I'll tell you about my rule. You know, maybe you have friends or family in the area who are going to let you stay with them. That's fine, as long as you know how long it takes you to get from that location to College Park, Maryland, because the traffic in this part of the world, in the Metro DC area, is awful. And on the map, it can say it's 4 miles, and in a car, it can take you an hour. Okay. So that's why I want you there the day before, so that you get the lay of the land. If you have an exhibit, you can put it up. If you're doing a performance, you can find the room where you're going to be performing the next day, so you know how far you have to haul all of your props and all of your costumes and everything like that. So one year we had a family coming from Memphis, and they got a late start. They left on, I guess they left on Monday morning, and they got a late start, and they did not get to their hotel until 2 o'clock in the morning, and the hotel had given their room away. So if you're going to be that late, please call the hotel and say, keep our room for us, because then they had to backtrack and stay further out. And then they didn't take into account how terrible the traffic is. So they got up and they started driving. And like every 15 minutes, I was getting a text that says, we're 45 minutes away. We're 45 minutes away. Well, the young lady's judging time was like 10:30. Oh, we'll be there by then. Well, no, they're not there by then. So I go and I have to talk to the judges and say, we have a student who's in transit, but she is coming. She did not get there until 1:15, and the judges were done looking at all the other students. And Lisa and I were standing out in the broiling hot sun waiting to help her unload and then to haul it in there with her. And then she was sticking stuff on it. And don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to me and Lisa. You know, you need to know where you are the day before. Do not show up hours past your judging time with your exhibit in a shambles, okay? Bad form. Don't do that. All right, so here we say revise your project. Graham and I are going to be going through the projects and giving you feedback. We'll talk a little bit about that more in a minute. Okay, so educators, while you are at History Day, these are the professional development workshops that are available on Monday and on Tuesday. The Tuesday morning, the early morning one, is free to all teachers if you want to attend that. I think it's like 45 minutes long or something like that. But look at this. I mean, you get a chance to meet Maya Lin, you know, the architect of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. And then Lynn O'Hara is the National History Day education person, and she's really awesome. Susan O'Donovan is our own West Tennessee coordinator, and she gives a great project. She gives great workshops. So definitely, if you have the time and that's something you're interested in, I would check that out. And you can pay for this within your account under the store. All right, you can also, educators, volunteer to serve as a judge, and this is a very useful experience. The people I have had who have done that have said they've learned so much. They've learned a lot about how to advise their own students. If you'll notice here on the National History Day webpage, it's under Make a Difference, under National Contest Judges Information, and you can fill out a form here, or they give you the contact information here. And I just think that's it's a really cool experience to do that if you have the time. All right, so what to expect getting there. This is what the metro station looks like. We'll go over how to get to College Park, how to get around the area, and how the contest works. So you can drive or you can fly. There are 3 airports in the area, Baltimore, Reagan, or Dulles. Um, they have their advantages and their disadvantages. Let's take a look here. If you fly into Baltimore, you'll take a bus and then the metro and then a campus shuttle. If you fly into Reagan, you take the metro and then the campus shuttle. If you fly into Dulles, there's a bus, then the metro, then a campus shuttle. And I will say that public transportation in this area is, once you figure it out, it's easy and it's inexpensive and it's safe. So I would recommend doing that. I have flown into all of these. I have done all of these methods. Some of it depends upon, like, if you want to go do Maryland type things, maybe you want to fly into Baltimore early and rent a car and go to the Baltimore Aquarium or something like that. Or maybe you want to go into Reagan and you want to stop at the National Portrait Gallery on your way to College Park. I encourage you to check out the Washington Metro Area Transit Authority. They do have an app. You can plug in where you are and where you want to go, and it'll tell you the fastest and cheapest way to get there. You can buy one of these smart trip cards and load it up with money. You can go online and you can buy one of them from here, or you can buy one at the airport or the metro stations. The larger metro stations all have kiosks where you can buy one of these. Some people will sit down and they really figure it out, like, okay, Monday we're going to go into DC, so we're just going to buy a day pass for Monday. Tuesday we're going to rent a car and we're going to go to Baltimore, so we don't need a metro card for that. But it does make life a lot easier. I usually load mine up with about $30 to start with. They do have, the fares vary depending upon if it's rush hour or not. I think they do have children's fares and senior citizens fares as well. Okay, it is possible to purchase a parking decal in advance or at the registration the day the contest starts. These are limited. The University of Maryland will tech it and National History Day, and I cannot help you get out of that. On the little map here, the big X is the Stamp Center. That's sort of the heart of campus. It's the student center. It's where the registration will be. It's where the exhibit hall will be. It's where our ice cream party will be. And then you can see there's a fairly large parking garage across the street from it. So it does fill up pretty quickly, though, but then people come and go. So you can usually find a spot in there. All right, so you have a choice when it comes to where you stay. If you have friends or family in the area, then by all means impose upon them and stay with them. You can stay in a hotel. You can stay in the dorms. The dorms are probably the cheapest, most economical choice. You can purchase a package within the registration system. There is a required meal plan. You get all 3 meals, and so if you have a full day planned, you can order boxed lunches. They are air conditioned. You have access to everything that the students do, which includes the aquatic center and the bowling alley. You would be sharing a room with another person. The Tennessee delegation would all be housed together on the same floor. There is a communal bathroom. Okay, so there's not any private bathrooms. And there's a communal kitchen lounge area as well. Adults can stay in the dorm. Each student needs to have a chaperone. I mean, one person can chaperone like a group of junior individual performance if you want to do that. All right, so there is a campus shuttle. This will pick you up at the metro station and take you directly to the Stamp Center for registration. It also goes to the dorms and will take you wherever you need to go on campus. It's free, it's frequent. I mean, it's like every 15 minutes or something like that. And you can get on the regular University of Maryland shuttle, or you can get on some of them say NHD, but you can get on any one that you want, okay? Okay, you're also going to be walking a lot. Let's talk about walking. This campus is 1,800 acres, which is twice the size of the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. It's very hilly, it's humid, it's hot. Please wear comfortable shoes, dress nicely, or wear costumes if you're a performance student for your judging. The rest of the time, wear whatever you would wear during summer here in Tennessee. There's a lot of walking involved. One year I had a contest to see who could walk the most every day, and one kid walked 17 miles in one day. I average between 5 and 8 miles every day. So think about this. You're allowed to bring whoever you want to with you. We once had a kid bring 13 members of his family. He brought his aunts, he brought his uncles, he brought his cousins, he brought his grandparents, he brought his great aunt. So if you have a very large party and you have some who are in strollers and some who use a cane, take that into account when you're planning your day. Okay. And again, if you get there the day before, you can kind of scout things out. So, I'm going to park grandma here while the rest of us go get food so that we can bring it back to her. Okay. All right. So once again, I want to remind you that we do have on our website this area where I encourage you to look at all of the information because it's going to be helpful to you. This is our Tennessee History Day at National History Day schedule. This is just an overview of the week. The items that are in red are specific to us. They've been planned for us. We start the week off with a pizza party before we go to the welcome ceremony. Then on Monday, the juniors compete. Monday evening, while we're waiting on the results for performance and documentary to be announced, we have an ice cream party. Wednesday, we will go in and we will meet with our senators, and that'll be in the morning. It'll be at 8:45 in the morning, and then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. Thursday is the award ceremony. We will all sit together in a section, in an assigned section, okay? So none of this is required. If you can't make it to the pizza party or you're lactose intolerant and can't eat pizza, that's fine. It is a good time to come and have your questions answered, though. If you don't want to go meet with our senators, that's fine also. If you need to leave early and you can't make it to the award ceremony, that's also fine. Everything except your interview is optional. And everybody is invited to everything, okay? You don't have to RSVP, just show up and eat all the ice cream. Here is the minute-by-minute guide. This is actually from last year, but I've updated it to the one that I put on the website, and this tells you what to expect every day of the contest. And it is 13 pages long. All right, and then we have the frequently asked questions. Please do take a look at those. I've tried to read your mind and anticipate what you need, and the answers are there for the reading. All right, we will meet with our senators Wednesday, June 12th at 8:45 a.m. and have our photograph taken with them. So normally what happens is we leave the campus, we meet at the metro station, and usually I go about 7:45 with a group of people, and then Lisa will come with a group of people immediately after that. And I will leave you if you're late. We had some kids who were late last year, and their teacher said to them, "Miss Jennifer does not wait." And they ran up right as our senators were leaving. So if you want somebody to guide you through the metro system, then come meet us. If you've already got it figured out, you're free to go on your own. All right, you are also welcome and encouraged to make an appointment with your U.S. representative. There's the website there for how to find out who that person is. Here I am with one of our History Day students and Representative Chuck Fleischman. So that is also something that you can do on Wednesday. Okay, NHD Explore. What is NHD Explore? NHD Explore are special activities that have been designed for NHD students. There is a website, there's a web page on the NHD website And there's a little webinar there that's already been recorded. There's also a worksheet. You see the worksheet here to the right. And let's go over what exactly is offered. Okay, so you can get reduced or free museum passes to Ford's Theater, the museum, and the museum is closing this year. So if you've ever wanted to see it, this is the year to see it. The National Museum of African American History and Culture and the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum. Okay, so the Holocaust Museum and the Museum of African American History and Culture are both free. I'm not sure how much the Ford's Theater and Museum are. There is programming designed specifically for us, like special behind the scenes tours or a curator led tour at all of these institutions here. So you can go to the Library of Congress and have a tour of the Library of Congress with a trained docent. The National Museum of American History is going to have programming for us. There is no registration required for that. Okay, so when it comes to revising your project, I would like for you to reread the rule book. I want you to seek out additional sources, especially primary sources. Paper and website are submitted in advance. You need to get your papers in the mail soon enough so that they get there by the deadline of May 14th. May 14th, the websites are shut down. Documentary, exhibit, and performance students, you can continue to work on your project. Now, the National History Day people are not as amazingly efficient as we are, and they do not have a way for documentary students to submit theirs in advance. So documentary students, you don't have to worry about uploading them. You don't have to worry about turning your process paper or bibliography in. You will be getting feedback from our office, including suggestions for which awards to nominate yourself. We start with paper, then we go to website, then we go to documentary, then we go to exhibit and performance. And here on the right, you will see feedback that I gave students last year, okay? Our judges are trained to give you 3 items of praise and 3 areas for needs improvement. I do not hold myself to that standard. I am improve, 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 improve. So if you've done something really outstanding, I might make a comment like this is great or great point or well written or something like that. But mostly you're going to see fix this. And you'll get a little summary as well that explains to you the different levels of feedback that we give. Our feedback is organized by, this is a rules violation, and that's not up for debate. That's something that you just have to fix. Number 2 is suggestions for improvement, or have you thought about that? And that's a little bit more interpretive. Maybe you like the music that you chose for the documentary and you don't like our suggestion. And then number 3, because I used to be an English teacher, are crimes against the English language. So if I see something that's grammatically correct, I'm going to tell you to fix it. All right, here is the workshop that we have planned for you, held in Knoxville on Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. In Hodges Library, room 127. There will be snacks. I'm going to send out information about this again, so if you don't get this all recorded at the moment, that's fine. The deadline to RSVP for this is April 24th to Liz Zapata. And there is her email address there. But don't worry, I'm gonna send it to you again. All right. So when it comes to being prepared, we want you to arrive in Maryland with everything that you need the day before. We want you to download the NHD app. We want you to download the Metro app. Give yourself enough time to get set in place, to gather yourself so that you're not rushing in out of breath or you went to the wrong building or something like that. I think there's like over 30 buildings that are in use for National History Day on the campus. We use 3 buildings for Tennessee History Day. Your project is the most important thing. Website and paper students, your projects have already been evaluated. The interview can only help you. Now, if you go in there and you say, oh, I'm so glad, my mom's going to be so proud because she did all the work. Well, okay, then you've shot yourself in the foot and you're not going to do very well. But if you go into the interview and you're able to answer the questions and you know your material, which you all do, you can only help yourself. Do keep an eye out for Lisa or me. What we do is we sit down and we divide you up and we say, okay, well, I'm going to go to this one and this one at 10 o'clock, and Lisa's going to go to this one and this one at 10 o'clock. And at 10:20, I'm going to try to make it to this one, and you're going to try to make it to that one. So look for us, because we want to wish you good luck or find out how it went for you. Do support the other members of our delegation. I encourage you to go see the performance and documentaries if you get a chance, and to go by and look at their exhibits. Commit to having the full NHD experience, and then also check out the competition. National History Day is like the Olympics of history competitions. You had to win. Like if you were a track athlete, you have to win at the county school level, at the county level, at the regional level, at the state level. Then you have to go to the U.S. trials. Then you make it onto the Olympics team, and then the coaches decide what you're going to run in. This is like we've leapt from the state competition to the Olympics, okay? You're going to see stuff that is absolutely amazing. You're going to see stuff where you're like, how on earth is that kid so smart? Okay, so let's talk about managing expectations. First of all, understand that the judging process is subjective, and that it may come down to the judges say, well, we have two projects and they're both equal. This one used this many primary sources, this one used this many primary sources. This kid translated a diary from Slovenian into English. This kid interviewed 15 people. Then it might come down to, we like the topic selection better, or this topic fits the theme better this year, okay? And you don't know that when you're picking out your topics at the beginning of the fall semester, So understand that it's subjective and that the level of competition is very high. Around the world, approximately 600,000 students are participating. Here in Tennessee, we have about 8,300. Over 1,300 came to our 6 regional contests. We had 291 students at the state contest. 68 of you qualified for the national contest. At National History Day last year, there were 3,300 students. In each category, so there's like 56 or 57 affiliates. The number sometimes fluctuates. So if it's 57, each state, each affiliate's allowed to send 2. So 114 students or projects in your category. Out of those, 10 go into the finals. And out of those finalists, 3 of them get a medal. And then there's about 35 special awards. So just to make it to National History Day, you're in the top 3,000 or so out of 600,000 kids around the world. All right, so this is the flow of the week. On Sunday, we have the opening ceremony, and that's in the afternoon or evening, around 6:30 or so, I think, or 6 o'clock. Monday, the juniors compete, and that'll run from 10 o'clock in the morning till about 2:30 or so in the afternoon. On Tuesday, the seniors compete again from about 10 in the morning until about 3:30 or so in the afternoon. Juniors, that is when you have your finals. Your finals will be Tuesday night, starting, I think, at 7 o'clock and going until 9 o'clock. Wednesday in the morning is the senior finals. So seniors, if you make it into the finals, you're not going to be able to go with us to meet the senators, but you need to go to the finals if you make it into the finals. Thursday is the award ceremony. Only junior finalists in documentary and performance will be announced. Only senior finalists in documentary and performance will be announced. And that's because you must physically be there. Okay, there's no interview. You just give the judges your process paper. If you're in a performance, you go up on stage, you do your performance, you say bow, you say thank you, you leave. Documentary students, you must physically be there because they will not have your documentary online or on a drive or a disc. You have to bring the documentary to them. okay? So that's why these two categories are advanced. No other categories are advanced. And I do not know who the finalists are. If you want to know who the finalists are, you have to come to the award ceremony. So at least once a day, you'll be getting an email update from me with instructions on where we're meeting, if anybody got into the finals, and what we're doing, where we need to meet in order to go visit with our senators the next morning. So you see here, my first update that I sent out last year, I told everybody the dorm that we were going to be staying in. I also told everybody once again, I don't know when your competition time is. And then I also give you information on where our pizza party is. Okay, so this is from last year. Don't use that information from this year, but it's important that somebody in your party, look at these and know what is going on. This is how you're going to know what's going on. All right, so here are the forbidden questions. Do you know when my missed? No. I find out at the same time you do. That's why if you download the app, that's going to be the first place that it's posted. As soon as I know, I'll let you all know, but I find out at the same time you do. The other forbidden question, do you know who the finalists are? I only know the finalists in performance and documentary because you have to physically be present. These are announced around 7 o'clock on the day of that particular competition. So junior division, you're going to be announced at 7 p.m. on Monday. Senior division, you're going to be announced at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. And these are also going to be on the app. The app will have it first. So don't ask me these questions. I do not know the answers to them. Okay, if you want to buy more t-shirts or buttons, you can order them from our website. Have your buttons on you as soon as you set foot on campus, because every other delegation has given their students buttons, and they're going to be running up to you and they're going to be saying, where are you from, where are you from, where are you from? And you say Tennessee, and they say, oh good, I don't have any of those, trade with me. And then they'll give you a button from Minnesota and you give them your button from Tennessee. And your goal is to collect all the buttons from all of the delegations. Now, some delegations are much smaller than ours. For example, Guam, they bring like 10 kids. They don't have nearly the amount of buttons we do. If you see them, you need to trade with them. Hawaii, they don't have the amount of buttons that we do. So if you're very competitive and you know the buttons that you want, I can tell you that the smaller delegations, you're going to want to keep an eye out for them. Do wear your t-shirt to the opening ceremony and the awards ceremony. We want to make a big splash at these events. We want people to know who we are. We want to be recognizable to them as being from Tennessee. And here's where you can go to order more. Now, every student who medaled gets a t-shirt as a gift from the Tennessee Historical Society. Every student who is going to be attending National History Day gets a bag of buttons as a gift from the Tennessee Historical Society. So if you missed the award ceremony and you didn't get your buttons or your t-shirt, then just let me know and I will send them to you. Okay, so I want to enforce that it's your experience, it's what you make of it. You can be as involved as you want to be. You can come to every single thing we have planned, or you can do your own thing. You know, it's entirely up to you. Do attend as many of the events as you can. I mean, I'm not going to be upset if you say, oh, well, we've decided we want to go to Arlington and that's going to be an all-day thing. You know, get out there, do what you want to do, or don't get out there. You know, one year I asked a family, so what did you do today? Because it was a Wednesday, and they looked really embarrassed, and they said, well, we slept late, and then we went to the pool, and then we watched The Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's fine. You can do that if you want to. You know, you don't have to follow our schedule. It's your National History Day. It's your experience. Do listen to me if I say I want to get a group photo and I want everybody massed together wearing your green shirt. Please help me get good shots of you all. Do take advantage of NHD Explore and the many cultural opportunities in the Maryland, D.C. area. Don't stress out. If you prepare, you're going to be fine. And don't have unrealistic expectations of yourself. I don't want to say we're not going to win or it's not worth going. It's the experience that makes it worth going. But in the past, Tennessee has won between 3 and 5 medals every year. And there was one year, a couple years ago, where we didn't win anything. Okay. So don't get it into your head, I'm going to go in and win. Get it into your head, I'm going to go, I'm going to have a great experience. I'm going to meet people from all around the world. I'm going to go to some museums. I'm going to eat some ice cream. I'm going to get to know kids from across the state of Tennessee. And that part of it is your reward. Okay. All right. So what questions do you have for me? You can type them over here off to the side. I only see, I think I answered the questions. Yes, I'm going to look at your projects, and yes, papers have to arrive by May 14th. Oh, I went on for almost an hour. Is everybody an expert on National History Day? Everybody knows everything you want to know about National History Day now. Okay. Oh, excuse me. How soon will you get your feedback on your project? It depends upon what your project is. With papers, I hope to get papers back at the end of next week. Websites might take till the following Wednesday or Thursday. Websites are going to take a while. Websites are hard. If you want to help us give you feedback and you're a website student, if you want to send us a Word document with your student composed text and your process paper and your bibliography, because we're not just giving you feedback on your process paper and bibliography, we're giving you feedback on the website itself. And so a lot of times what I have to do is, if it's a website, I have to go and copy and paste your text into a Word document in order to be able to assess it properly. So if you want to speed that process up, you can go ahead and send it to me at my email, which is historyday@tennesseehistory.org. And that would help, because then we wouldn't be copying and pasting all of that. There's my contact information there. Okay, who else has questions? Documentaries we will do third. For a lot of them, we already have the process papers and bibliography since you nominated yourself for a special award. If you did not nominate yourself for a special award, go ahead and send us the process paper and bibliographies. We have it online, so we'll be looking at it online. There's 2 of us doing this, and I want both of us to look at each project. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully we won't have to split it, but I'm pretty fast at papers. I'm pretty fast at documentaries. Websites take a little bit longer. So students, if you did not nominate yourself for a special award, if you did not email us your process paper bibliography, go ahead and do that. I'm going to be sending out a reminder email that we need those in order to be able to give you feedback. Is everybody excited? I hope so. National History Day is a really great experience for those kids who go all the way to nationals. One of my former assistants was. I see people are excited. That's great. Two of my former assistants actually were National History Day students, and one of them said to me once that for the students who make it all the way to nationals, it can be life-changing. And I've seen that happen. I've seen our students have amazing opportunities because of National History Day. Some of our students have won scholarships or won special awards that involve traveling to France or something like that. So it's my hope that National History Day is a door for you, and you walk through that door, and then on the other side is this whole amazing world of research and humanities and learning about history and becoming part of that National History Day whole deal. I don't want to say family. I hate it when people say family and you're not talking about an actual family. So I'm not going to say National History Day family, but the whole National History Day world. It's very exciting. So do look for me and Lisa, and hopefully I will see everybody at the pizza party. I am going to be emailing you quite a bit with registration updates or feedback on your projects.
I'm gonna ask her if she
Do
will
make
be
sure
looking
I
for
have the
women
contact
podcast.
information for whoever is chaperoning you, in case I need to get in touch with that person. Okay. All right. So if nobody has any more questions, I guess we're going to end this. And it took us 56 minutes to do that. So you all have my contact information. Please look over all the information available on the website and then let me know if there's a question that has not been answered. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
This conference will now be recorded.